Numero uno, the Bungus Among Us. Without a doubt, if you are rocking the stationary turrets as engineer, the Bungus, also known as the Bustling Fungus, is probably the best item you can find. This is because for activation of the Bustling Fungus's ability, you need to remain stationary. And guess what these stationary turrets do best? This means that each of your turrets will permanently have the Bungus's healing radius up and active and will constantly be healing themselves, but also Engineer can pop on into one of these circles for a quick refresh if he needs it as well. If you really want to be a fun guy though and master the mycelium, then what you want to do is place your two turrets so that their healing circles overlap like everybody's favorite elementary school comparison tool, the Venn diagram. By overlapping the circles and having the turrets be in each other's, they double the healing as they're healing for themselves as well as for the other one. And if you really want to bring some mushroom magic to this party, then hop on into the middle yourself and pop up your own healing circle so that not only do you get triple healing, but your turrets do as well. Because homies help homies, always. For tip numero dos, we have the Threes Company. Although the Bingy Bangy Bungus is the most accessible of the S tier items for engineer, being a common white item and easy to find on runs, arguably an even better pickup for engineer is the void variant of the fuel cell, the Lysate cell. This is because the Lysate cell provides an extra charge of the special skill, which in engineer's case is his turret. And picking one of these bad Larrys up means now you have to make reservations for a party of 4. If you are lucky enough to find a Bustling Fungus as well as a Lysate cell early in the same run, you are well on your way to some easy dubs. You can almost entirely sit back, relax, and enjoy the ride as your three amigos heal each other and yourself and slowly get more and more dripped out with the items that you acquire and make any enemy think twice about causing any trouble in your neighborhood. One thing to keep in mind is that if you stack Lysate cells, you will see increased charges for the number of turrets. However, you can only have 3 active at the same time, and extra stacks of the Lysate cell only allow you to more quickly replace it if one should go down. Numero tres, the Rocket Man. If you do not already have Engineer's alternate utility skill, the Thermal Harpoons, unlocked, make it a priority because they are without a doubt a better alternative to the default Bubble Shield. Although you do lose out on some defensive capability, the upside to being able to lock on and attack flying enemies without having to try to snipe them out of the air with Engineer's balls is well worth the exchange for some defense. To take it to the next level though and send NG's damage out of this atmosphere, then what you want to do is keep your eyes peeled for the Pocket ICBM red item. This item triples the number of projectiles for all missile-based items such as the ATG, Plasma Shrimp, and Fireworks. However, this bonus also applies to NG's Thermal Harpoons. Now those poor Lemurians and Beetles, when they see triple the missiles flying at them, are gonna wish that they packed their bags last night pre-flight, 0 hour 9 a.m. and got themselves out of Petrichor 5 because NG's gonna be dishing out damage numbers as high as a kite. Once you experience the power of tripled harpoon missiles, it's gonna be a long time before you find out that you're not the man that they think you are at home. Oh no, you're a rocket man. Numero cuatro is Plate Tectonics. Whenever playing as NG with the stationary turrets in tow, you should be praying big time to RNGesus, hoping that you get abandoned aqueducts for the second stage. This is because Engineer is one of a few characters, along with Capitan, who doesn't have to resort to Rollin' Pot and can open the secret door on Abandoned Aqueduct solo dolo and snag himself a pair of Runald and Kajaro's bands. This is done by finding the two circular plates hidden around the map and placing the stationary turret on top of one, and then running over to the other and hopping on it in order to open the secret tunnel. You can then proceed on through to wallop Runald and Kajaro, interrupting their holy matrimony like Shrek bursting through the doors to the Duloc church, and then proceed to steal their wedding rings and claim them as your own. What's even better is this is a true BOGO deal, a buy one get one free, as of course, just like every other item, your turrets get them as well. And the bands, if you didn't already know, are some of the most busted items in the game and do absolutely nutty damage. The icing on the cake is how stylish they look when rocked on the turrets. Nothing like a couple of fire and ice Ringos on the turret's fingos. Numero 5 is the Go Rag in the Go Flag. Although the Warbanner White item is one of the few on the turret blacklist, meaning that your turrets don't actually get this item if you pick it up, it's still really valuable in the hands of Engineer when rocking the stationary Dominic Torettos. This is because the Warbanner's ability is to drop a flag upon level up or activation of the teleporter, which provides a radius where if you or any of your allies are within that radius, you gain a bonus to movement speed and attack. This synergizes particularly well with the stationary turrets, as you can place them within this radius and they immediately get a huge damage boost. To really make your turrets fast and furious and demonstrate the power of family, then you're going to want to keep your eyes peeled for the Gorag's Opus equipment item, which upon activation sends you and your allies into a frenzy for 7 seconds and increases attack speed by 100%. By combining these two effects together, your turrets will be firing on all cylinders faster than Paul Walker's 2005 Porsche Carrera GT, ripping it around the corner in a Santa Clarita 45 mph speed zone on November 30th, 2013 at around 3:30 Pacific time. Rest in pepperoni. And finally, a little bonus, the Blacklist and the Cracklist. As briefly touched upon in tip number 5, there are a number of items that are on the turret blacklist, meaning that while Engineer may pick up and get the abilities, the turrets themselves do not inherit these items. There are 8 in total, and this includes the Warbanner, the Lepton Daisy, Focus Convergent, the Halcyon Seed, Empathy Cores, Queen's Gland, Newly Hatched Zoa, and spare drone parts. And just because they're on James Spader's list, this doesn't mean that they aren't necessarily good pickups. As mentioned before, the Warbanner is really good at powering up your turrets, and spare drone parts is one of the better items for buffing them as well. And now moving on to the crack list. These are items that are top tier and you should always be keeping your eyes peeled for when playing as Engineer. Starting off with the white items, the gasoline is fantastic for crowd control for both Engineer and his turrets, and Lensmaker's glasses are also fantastic, giving additional crit chance and just simply adding more damage. If you're feeling the need for bleed, then make sure to pick up some tri-tip daggers, because the amount of bleed stacks that you can apply with your turrets going, as well as landing every hit of Engineer's balls on an enemy, is absolutely bonkers. Soldier Syringe is great for its boosted attack speed, and Focus Crystal is a fantastic pickup for both the stationary and carbonizer turrets for dealing extra damage to any enemies that are too cocky and pull up a little too close to your mechanical Migos. Lastly, the Paul's Goat Hoof and the Energy Drink are a must-have for Engineer, as his default mobility is pretty dog buns, not gonna lie. Moving on to the green, but sticking with the theme of mobility, the Hopu Feather and Wax Quail are a fine addition to Engi's collection and allow him to more easily maneuver around the map and zoot up big time, allowing his turrets to hold down the fort and stand on business. As for damage, the Will-o'-the-Wisp, ATG, and Ukulele make up a top tier trifecta, which when combined together is cheesier than the fingers of the Chicken Man from Al's Toy Barn. And finally, if you want to make Chester the Cheetah eat his words and show him that it is in fact pretty damn easy being cheesy, then make sure to pick up the following red items. The Tesla Coil, which provides an electric radius, shocking enemies that get a little too close for comfort. And if you're feeling that nice ice baby, then you want to pick up the Frost Relic, which is basically the frozen counterpart to the Tesla Coil, which once again creates a damaging radius to enemies, but this one is cooler than the cool side of the pillow. If you're looking for some bang to go with your buck, then the Brilliant Behemoth is your guy. This adds explosions to all your projectiles, meaning that the citizens of Petrichor 5 are about to be facing more explosives than a Taco Bell bathroom on Cinco de Mayo. And let's not forget the teddy bear that's straight unfair on Engineer, the Dio's best friend, which grants not only Engineer a revive if he happens to die, but the real benefit comes from the fact that the turrets get their own Dios and can die and revive as well, and get a new one every time a new turret is placed. Anyways, that's pretty much it. Let me know any of your Engineer tips down below. Thanks for tuning on in, and we'll catch you next time. Adios, amigos.